an example. Surah Fatir. I would suggest that you go back to after this course, after today, and you look for Surah Fatir and read it from the beginning to the end. Surah Fatir is not huge. It's not even half a juz. And see how what we're saying here is relevant to the actual surah. So Surah Fatir has repetitive themes of dignity and success, of kind of binary language between successful people and losers, between devils and angels. One of its names is Surah al-Malaika, the Surah of the angels. And one of its names is Surah Fatir, the Surah of the originator or the creator. In fact, as at the very beginning of the Surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, جَاعِلِ الْمَلَائِكَةِ رُسُلًا. He's the one who made angels into like messengers. He sent some of them as messengers with messages like Jibreel alayhi salam. So when we look into the Surah, we'll find that, let's say, we take this ayah in the Surah, ayah number 10. What is in this ayah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْعِزَّةَ فَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ جَمِيعًا. إليه, look at the word عزة. How many times it's repeated? Like technically, it's less than a line. العزة, العزة. من كان يريد العزة فلله العزة جميعا. إليه يصعد الكلم الطيب. To him good words ascend. والعمل الصالح الحمد لله. والعمل الصالح يرفع. والذين يمكرون السيئات لهم عذاب شديد ومكر أولئك هو يبور. The word makara in Arabic to plan is here and in the following line. Makr, makara, yamkuruna, makr. It's the same root. Makara in Arabic means to what? To plan. To plan in a cunning way. Right? Plan. And then we have the word yabur. Bara in Arabic means to go to perish or to have no benefit. When we say, for example, his trade, barat tijaratuhu, his trade has not become successful. It didn't produce anything, no profit. If we look at these words, izzah, good words, good deeds, makr and yabur, these 5 words, we will realize that they are actually elsewhere in Surah Al-Fatir. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks, for example, of the term yabur later on when he said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَتْلُونَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ, those who recite the book of Allah, وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةِ, and they pray, they perform the prayer, وَأَنفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ سِرًّا وَعَلَانِيَةً, and they spend secretly and outwardly from what we provide them, يَرْجُونَ, they are on, تِجَارَةً, trade, لَن تَبُورَ. So the word yabur here and the word tabur there. Here we have the word makara, yamkuruna, isn't it? Makr and yamkuruna. Later on in the surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَكْرَ السَّيِّئِ, and they plan evil. وَلَا يَحِيقُ الْمَكْرُ السَّيِّئُ إِلَّا بِأَهْلِ, and the evil planning only hits those who plan it. So you got the word makr twice at the end of the surah. You got makr twice in the beginning of the surah. How often should you find the word in a matter of like 3 or 4 or 5 pages in order to say that actually this is a theme in the surah. This is a governing theme in the surah. That you can, now he's mentioning the word makr by name 4 or 5 times across the surah. And elsewhere in the surah, he mentions to you examples of good planning and examples of bad planning. Isn't it? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, مَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْعِزَّةِ, whoever wants or desires honor, then what you will ask yourself, how I achieve that? Because he's telling you, if you want honor, it only belongs to Allah. So how can I get it? If it belongs to Allah, how can I get it? Then he's giving you, the people of honor are those who do 1, 2, 3, 4. And the people of honor will end up in this place. and the people of honor, these are their characteristics. And one of the ways of encouraging you to be of the people of honor is to tell you, are the people of honor similar to the people of dishonor?
No.
So he will bring you this comparison. So he says to you in Surah Al-Fatir, وَمَا يَسْتَوِي الْأَعْمَى وَالْبَصِيرُ. The one who can see and the one who is blind are not similar. وَلَا الظُّلُمَاتُ وَلَا النُّورُ. Darkness and light are not similar. You see? وَلَا الظِّلُّ وَلَا الْحَرُّ. Shade is never like heat. وَمَا يَسْتَوِي الْأَحْيَاءُ وَلَا الْأَمْوَاتُ. The living are not like the dead. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُسْمِعُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. So he's showing you the people of what? Izzah, the people of honor, in comparison to the people of what? Disgrace. Then later on, as I mentioned before to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a few lines later, He says, those who recite the book of Allah and they perform their salah and they spend from what we provide for them is a trade that will never go off. What does that mean? They're honorable, they're dignified. Because when someone's trade business is high, he is in a good position. يَرْجُونَ تِجَارَةً لَنْ تَبُورَ. He even mentions levels of the people of Izzah, of those who have taken the path to get that honor, even if they are not to the highest degree. So he says to you, ثُمَّ أَوْرَثْنَا الْكِتَابَ الَّذِينَ اصْطَفَيْنَا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا. We have given the book, the Quran, the knowledge, to those whom we have selected from our people. In other words, Allah has guided to His way those who have been blessed to be guided. You are not guided because you are smart, because you're intelligent, because you have a PhD. Because there could be someone who has got a PhD and he's like a genius, but he's not guided. He lived a life getting this prize and getting that, is this poet laureate and is this Nobel Prize winner, but at the end of the day, all of this life is a trade that goes off. Isn't it? It's a trade that goes off. You're trading in his name and his expertise, but your trade is good. It's a small business, but it's a successful one. What's the point of having a huge company, corporate, international corporation, and then when it collapses, remember, like big initiatives have big losses as well. Small initiatives have small losses. Go like a corner shop. If you leave that business, you can do mini cabin. Or you don't do driving. So you can just like stay home and annoy your wife. And she can annoy you as well, mutually. It's mutual annoyance. It's good. This is business. And that will never go off. Isn't it? I tease you with this, alhamdulillah, I don't annoy anyone and I don't get annoyed by anyone. So, then let's look at the people of honor and the people of disgrace. We said the people of honor are those who have inherited the book and they are. So what will be their destination? Continuing in the same vein. It says, جَنَّاتُ عَدْنٍ يَدْخُلُونَهَا. They are in gardens of Eden. They are in paradise. And what about the others? The others in hellfire, وَهُمْ يَصْطَرِخُونَ فِيهَا. They are fighting with each other, screaming, رَبَّنَا أَخْرِجْنَا نَعْمَلْ صَالِحًا غَيْرَ الَّذِي كُنَّا نَعْمَلْ. Like they say, can you let us out? Let's have another chance. This is the difference, but that comparison. And then what fits within this theme is to show you that the creation of Allah is different as well. As much as there is difference in human beings, those who are doomed to hell and those that are destined to heavens, there are also difference in mountains. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduces this theme of different human natures by showing you a difference in real nature. ألم تر أن الله أنزل من السماء ماء فأخرجنا به ثمرات مختلفا ألوانها. Didn't you see that Allah sends down the rain? It's the same rain, same drops, but the fruit, the vegetables and the fruits and different vegetation that comes out is different. They're diverse. وَمِنَ الْجِبَالِ. You're not convinced with this level of diversity? Well, there is another level of diversity. وَمِنَ الْجِبَالِ. Amongst the mountains. جُدَدٌ بِيضٌ وَحُمْرٌ. There are white ones, there are reddish ones, مختلف ألوانهم وغرابيب سود. There are black ones, different colors of mountains, different sizes, different textures, different strengths. Some are very stiff rocks, some are volcanic, some are not. Some can be used for building, some cannot be used for building, but you can use them for roads and pavements. Some can turn into something else and be used different uses. At the end of the day, you can say that some of them represent dignity and honor and some represent something else. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah, we can say that we can, wherever we put our hand in this surah, Surah Fatir, whichever ayah we put our hand, we will be able to link the sentence to the topic of the surah. So you should ask yourself, okay, where else in the surah do I find this word? But if it's not the word, this theme. For example, I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say you have not memorized Surah Al-Ikhlas. Pick up any ayah in Surah Al-Ikhlas. Lam yalid, lam yulad. Not the beginning. Lam yalid, lam yulad. He begets not, nor he is begotten. He doesn't have children, nor he is born. What does that take you to? The theme of what? Oneness. Uniqueness. Uniqueness. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ. He did not say wahid. He said what? Ahad. One and unique. And then finally, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفْوًا. Ahad at the beginning and Ahad at the end. Ahad at the beginning is oneness, Ahad at the end is uniqueness. This Ahad is different from that Ahad, by the way. They are two different Ahads. Because at the beginning he said, Allahu Ahad. He is one. Finally, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفْوًا Ahad. No one is similar to him. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ أَحَدٌ كُفُوًا. This is like this taqdeem and ta'khir. There is order. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. So the Ahad at the beginning is Allah. The Ahad at the end is human beings. Creation. That's why I said the Ahad at the beginning and the Ahad at the end are two different Ahads. Yes, it's the same. For example, when I say so and so is Ahad and so is Ahadun Akhar. So and so is one and so is another one. Is another one. Is the other being. Right? So when you look at any point in that surah, take for example Surah Quraysh. رحلة الشياطين فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت. Just like take that sentence in the middle of the surah. فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت. Let them worship the Lord of this house. When I bring about ibadah, a duty, what will you be asking about? Why? Isn't it? If I say Ridwan, good to obey the rules. What will be your question? Why? Why should I obey the rules? Because they keep you safe. Because you protect the society. Because. So if you ask the question, why should they worship the Lord in this house? Because He has given them safety in terms of food and in terms of security. And people's essentials of the society is to be safe in terms of their resources and in terms of what we call public security, public safety. If there is public safety in the society, if there is no public safety in the society, would you enjoy your meal if you know that someone is with a gun on your head? And if it is very safe, if the place is very safe and it doesn't have resources, you can't live there, you can't survive there. Will you go?
Yeah.
There are very beautiful places. Yes? Will you go?
No. I wouldn't. I'll leave that place.
Okay. I had yes. Inshallah, mabruk. Let's say there is a nice, beautiful, there is like a very nice, beautiful state of the United States of America. Amazing. Beautiful weather. But it is desert. Barren desert. Not a single plant grows there. Arizona, for example. Will you go? You won't go. People normally live around big civilizations of the universe, grow around rivers, water resources, because water, as they say, sirrul haya, is the secret of life. You take water and then then there is earth, you can produce anything, isn't it? But people who live in the desert, there has to be something else. Like in Arabia, where did Arabs live? They were like pockets around places that they can actually have built a civilization. And they, because there was not much, they had to travel. So that's another reason for ibadah, that they have safety, and they have food, and they have the ability to travel. Beginning of the surah, إِلَى فِيهِمْ رِحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ. We've made them familiar to the winter and the summer journeys, to trade up north with the people in the Sham, and to trade down south with the people of Yemen. And what is needed for traveling? Two things: safety of movement and resources that enable. So it's like a circle. The surah is actually like a circle. It's like at the beginning of the surah says, well, we have given you safety to move and ability to seek food. Like ability to seek food. At the end he says, أَطْعَمَهُمْ مِنْ جُوعٍ وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ خَوْفٍ. The conclusion is, I've given you access to food and ability to move. The surah is like a circle. If you take any surah in the Quran, you will find that pick up a sentence in the middle of the surah, look for the words, see are these words repeated elsewhere in the surah, exact words or derivatives of the same root. Makara, yamkuru, makiran, makkaran, izza, aziz, azza, ya'izzu, yabu, bar, ba'ir, tijara, because bawar, which is like going off, business, is always related to tijara, to trade. So look either for words, and if you don't find words, or you find one of the words, then sometimes the surah is small, is condensed, that you can't actually find that flexibility of finding repetition. Then look for the theme. What's the theme of this? And then see, does that fit within the topic of the surah? Yes. So as I said, honor, people of honor, plan, and evil planning. Mountains are different. When he says here, إِلَيْهِ يَصْعَدُ الْكَلِمُ الطَّيِّبُ, to him good words do ascend. An example of al-Kalim al-Tayyib is the Quran, isn't it? Definitely. The Quran is the highest al-Kalim al-Tayyib. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ثُمَّ أَوْرَثْنَا الْكِتَابَ الَّذِينَ اصْطَفَيْنَا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا. We have given the book, we have given the Quran to those whom we have selected from our servants. So that's an example of al-Kalim al-Tayyib. وَالْعَمَلُ الصَّالِحُ يَرْفَعُ. Good deeds. He talks about how people help. And when we say مَنْ كَانَ يُرِيدُ الْعِزَّةَ فَلِلَّهِ الْعِزَّةُ جَمِيعًا. So how do we achieve honor? He gives you the way. Whom should we achieve honor from? From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and associating ourselves from Allah. So he has also to explain to you, how do people associate themselves with fake reasons of honor, like power, money. So he tells you, Ya ayyuhan nas, antumul fuqara'u ila Allah. Oh people, you are always in need of Allah. Is in other ways he says, well, you might associate yourself with wealth and you say, I am rich, I have honor. Or you might associate yourself with power and you say, well, I'm very powerful, I'm honorable. Or position and say, I'm honorable. Oh people. He could have said, by the way, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, oh you who believe. But that's very small. Because the address here is a universal address. Oh people. Whether you believe in Allah or not, whether you acknowledge that He is your creator or not, whether you are in need, it's a universal thing. Like people can lie about anything in their life. The only thing they can't lie about is death. Isn't it? People can't lie about that. The ayat says when we're born with death starts walking in our shade from the moment we're born. This is like in the shadow. In the shadow there is something called what? Death. Sometimes we switch off that shadow and we start acting as if there is nothing called death. The Prophet ﷺ said, well, you got to remind yourself all the time of what? Death. That's the only thing that will make any loss easy for you. You lose your health, you lose your life one day, by the way. So you're okay, I've lost some of my health. You lost your money. Will you leave it behind you? Willingly or not? Isn't it? They say willy-nilly. Like whether you want it or not, you will have to leave it behind. Well, one of my children has gone astray and I can't actually do anything about it. You could have died and left them behind, and you would never. You have no control. You have no control over yourself, isn't it? Well, but life is tough. Death is even tougher. I feel lonely. Well, you will feel even lonelier in your grave. I know this sounds very disheartening. I would say it's a bit disheartening to some people, but facts, realities are bitter. Why are they bitter? Because we deceive ourselves into an imaginary world that we live in. It's like someone who gives himself an impression that everything is fine, but the reality is his health is deteriorating. So when he wakes up and he realizes that, you know what, your health is actually deteriorating, it's bitter. He doesn't want to live with that fact, but you got to live with that fact. If you don't, nothing can, as the Prophet ﷺ said, لا شفاعة في الموت. Like there is no indecision about death. No one can come and say, please, I haven't taken my fill from, like a wife can't say, I haven't taken my fill from my husband, can you leave him for a few more years? He's such a good husband, I don't know what to do later on. A child can't come and say, well, I'm so young, my father hasn't actually spent enough time with me. Nor a father can say, well, I haven't spent enough time with my children, can I enjoy them? I really want to see my children graduating or my daughter getting married, or no one can do that. It's like, that's a real fact.